Hello and welcome to the August Outturn. Myself, Calum and Duncan, my co-host. We've picked 6 drams from the Outturn, 3 of which we'll be sampling, and we also have something very special, which is our latest Craters collection.
Ed Firmston Evans. He wrote a great little feature which explains all of the jargon.
Jargon?
I thought was very clever.
Did he come up with that?
I came up with that.
That's why you think it's clever. Briny, oily,
Shoe polish or leather.
mossy.
Getting like a lot of grass.
It's quite viscous. So we're going to open 3, first of all, from the Outturn. Have a wee sip, and we'll maybe highlight a couple other ones that we're not going to open today, because then we're going to crack open the special ones.
Yeah, the good stuff. Because we actually never usually get to tuck into that on the podcast, so we're lucky this time. Usually it's like, look but don't touch.
If I'm being completely honest, these ones were already open. I think Belief was our photo.
Yeah, it was actually us that opened them.
So we managed to. Luckily, one of my colleagues was going to the vaults and was able to pick them up and bring them over to
one of our
Glasgow.
Colleagues that we had on the last episode.
Francesco, who was on last
Friend of the show.
Yeah.
Francesca of the show.
Yeah. So I think it all worked out nicely. So
where do you want to start? Yeah, I mean, so we've got these 3. I mean, obviously, I think we'll probably leave the pizza later on.
I think probably you want to go for this one here.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. Well, it's been half opened.
Half opened. I'm just making our lives a little bit easier.
Is it bad if I just throw the bottle caps on the floor?
As long as you don't throw it at me.
It wouldn't be that nice to do that if you were.
Or you could just. Yeah, you're always littering in our studios.
So.
Terrible.
What we got is, this is from distillery number 8, so it's a Speyside distillery. It's known for usually having full sherry maturation in their own releases, so quite interesting to see it. Not in sherry, and this is a first fill bourbon. It's 9 years old. It's under £60. I don't know the exact price, but so really good price point. And this is the what's the flavour profile? Young and sprightly.
Young and sprightly, which at 9 years old shows that it's not always about the age, it's more about the flavour.
Absolutely. So it comes in here at 59.8%. So perfect start of the night dram.
And fun that you say that this distillery is renowned for doing a sherry cask matured expression. And
I was thinking about throwing you under the bus and asking you about salad boxes.
Hannah, you told me. I was trying to do my. I was trying to be a good boy before the show. I was trying to do my research.
I don't think that's important, but
to hear what they are.
Yeah, it's a well-known.
He told me not to bother, but you can tell me now.
I don't think it's that exciting, to be honest with you.
At least a one-liner.
An industrial malting floor.
Yeah, I'm so glad we talked about that.
Yeah, it's not very sexy, is it? But this is a very well-known distillery. It's got a great reputation. As we said, it was mostly you see it in full sherry maturation, but. And we have been seeing these releases, fairly often, the last few months. But it's great stuff, and I think we should just dive into it and have a wee. What are you getting?
Getting like a lot of grass straight off the bat.
I'm not sure if the name is Marble Chalice.
Marble Chalice.
Yeah.
Sounds very classy.
I've now read the tasting notes, so
you cheat, fraud.
It's quite. It's light. It's light. I mean, it's actually got quite a nice golden colour to it. It's light, it's a wee bit fruity, sweet, a wee bit of sweetness.
Get a lot of fruitiness on the palate.
It's got a wee bit of spice to it as well, though.
Almost like melon, I think.
Go on, have a wee bit of water, see what happens.
Go on then, let's do it properly.
It's always hard to have a little bit of water.
It's crazy how much adding water is still, there's such a negative connotation behind it still. I think every time I'm introducing my friends to whiskey that they maybe haven't tried it without having a mixer in it or some Coke or some ice, they're always surprised when I suggest them to add a little, especially when it's cask strength, because I love showing people society whiskey for the first time. They're always, isn't that blasphemy? When really, when you're drinking a whiskey, what's this one, is it?
59.9 or something like that. Essentially, it's rocket fuel, It's,
yeah, exactly. So there's no...
So, I mean, I think even regular whiskies that have been reduced to, early 40s, it's still totally reasonable to add water to those. But it's not essential. It's just a preference.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to add water to cask strength whiskey, but I would always recommend it. I always drink with a little bit of water. A lot of these other bottlings will happen. They'll add water before the bottling process. So you actually, if you're reducing it down to the desired amount, you lose a bit of the flavour because there's a reaction with the water and the spirit. Whereas if you add water now, you're getting that reaction in the glass.
Yeah, we're giving members the choice to add however much they like instead of buying it off the shelf.
It's just a very pure product. We don't bottle it at high strength because we're trying to be wild or anything like that. It's just very pure and natural. And you add water, you get the full benefit of all that flavour, and you can adjust it to wherever.
And it's interesting to see how it changes as you do add more water, and you can come back to.
It does take a bit of getting used to cask strength whiskey, though. Like, you know, even just whiskey is got a bit of an acquired taste, and drinking any sort of spirit is neat can be challenging when you first try it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, cask strength whiskey is the next level up. But yeah, add as much water as you like. I know people that will have a tall glass with loads of water in it, you know, and it's still very, very nice. And I do add quite a lot of water, but in terms of just tasting it and sampling it, you know, it's good to just add a wee bit and a little bit as you go. It's a bit like cooking. You can add it, but you can't take it away.
And sometimes it depends.
Unless you pour more whiskey back into the glass, which seems a bit odd.
Sometimes it depends why you're drinking as well. Sometimes you're drinking because you want to dissect all bleep that out.
No, I mean,
FWA, we're sorry, we didn't mean that.
I mean, these are not the kind of whiskies that you know. This is next level stuff, you know, and it's not something that you're going to be drinking in high volumes. It's more about appreciating the quality of the whiskey in smaller amounts.
Enjoy the dram without trying to dissect everything that it has to offer. That's why I still sometimes enjoy just having a dram in a tumbler. I like the way it feels in my hands.
Do you ever have ice in your whiskey?
Yeah, I mean, I would try. I think they do. I wouldn't go out my way to do it at home, but if someone had given me a whiskey and I'm in their home, I wouldn't be upset about it.
When I worked in the venue, people would ask for ice sometimes, and I'd say, "Yes, you shouldn't say no. You can't have ice. People can enjoy whiskey any way they want to enjoy it. Of course. But I used to say my excuse was, "I'm sorry, the ice cubes won't fit in the glass."
That's a good backup, actually. Yeah. What about whiskey stones? Have you ever tried whiskey stones?
I've got some. I think people have bought them from me before.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever tried them.
As a present as well.
I mean, I think it's a very nice drink to have ice and whiskey. I started drinking bourbon and Jack Daniels over ice, you know, and Coke, and then it became more ice, less Coke, you know, and then before I got into to whiskey. Yeah. But it's still a very pleasant drink. But if it's cold, you don't get the full benefit of the flavour, basically, you know.
When I used to work at Dalwhinnie, they have the Winter's Gold bottling.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether it was a marketing gimmick or what, but they used to suggest that you put the bottle in the freezer and it turns into almost like a very cold syrupy thing.
I mean, it would be delicious.
And it always looked great because it was in that crisp bottle. But
you just don't get the full benefit of the flavour. So yeah, like you said, you can enjoy it any way you like.
Speaking of full benefits,
are you getting any differences on here on now you've added water?
I haven't tasted it since I've added water. I'm getting some more like orange peels this time, I think.
I could get orange actually, yeah. I get more sort of floral, sort of potpourri kind of thing. But it was maybe a wee bit spicy before, but that might have just been the ABV, I don't know. But certainly prefer it with a little bit of water too.
Yeah, but I think I do actually prefer it the second time as well.
Cracking dram altogether. I don't have the price of it though. we're a bit scuppered there, but
at the price of your choosing,
sub 60. So, marble chalice. Let's move on to the next one. I think that's okay with you.
Are you getting your own glasses this week? Oh, I can kick back and relax now.
Well, we don't have to reach back.
Past multiple weeks.
I guess I should have said that last couple of months we've been at Queen Street, which was nice for a change of scenery.
Yeah.
Here we are back in our original home.
Yeah. Back at home.
Right, let's move on to this one.
What have we got?
Anyone ever... Was that not your nickname? Top Banana?
What? Show your work.
Top Banana just means like good, doesn't it?
Oh, does it? I don't know.
You never heard that? That's an expression, right?
No.
Top Banana. Someone goes, oh, we're going to go and do this. Oh, here you go. Top Banana.
Huh? Wow. There you go.
I'm kind of making it up.
Yeah. Well, I believed you, so it shows your...
It sounds like something...
At least you're saying it
no offence to an Australian, but it sounds like something an Australian person might say. Top banana, mate.
Should we ask Matt if that's in his...
Top banana.
In his vocabulary.
Yeah.
Matt, let us know.
They've got expressions for everything.
Is that a thing? Wow, the colour. I mean, look at the difference. Is the first thing I noticed. That is ridiculous. Is that the same drink?
Yeah, so this is... I'll tell you... Let me talk you through this. So this is... 138.26, as we said, it's called Top Banana. Juicy oak and vanilla flavour profile, 6 years old. This one is actually from Taiwan, and the casket has been in as a second filled charred barrel. So the two things off the bat that I guess are important to think about here as well. You mentioned the colour, and it's pretty striking, the colour of it, very dark. That'll first of all be down to the charred cask, you know. So when a cask has been treated, like being recharred or whatever, you're just kind of activating the wood a little bit again, and they tend to have a dark colour, like your SDRs, your HDMCs, or any sort of charring. So that'll add to the colour and also add to the flavour. So you're probably going to get, you know, your typical sort of vanilla, caramel, but maybe a bit of spice as well. Secondly, because this is from Taiwan, this is a very hot, humid country, so the maturation is completely different. This is only 6 years old. But a lot of countries that produce whiskey in a much hotter climates, the whiskey, in terms of maturation, it is probably more similar to something that was, if it was matured in Scotland, it could be, that could be 25 or 30 years old in terms of it, because that's how fast the maturation happens.
And a lot bigger Angel's Share.
Angel's Share,
well, yeah.
And also, the RABV drops over time because, let me get this round the right way, the water evaporates before the alcohol, but in a humid country, it's the other way around. So the ABV over time actually goes up. So that happens quite a lot in America,
Wow, I didn't know
India. I'm pretty sure that's the same for Taiwan as well.
So what percentage have we got here then?
So it's 56.9. So it's a little bit of a case like you wouldn't want to have that maturing, at 6 years old, it's quite young,
you don't
but
want to leave it
they're
for
not
too
going to release
long,
whiskies that are 20 years old because it's going to be too far gone by that point.
Yeah. So I guess you have to monitor it very closely when you're maturing in those type of climates.
But I guess that's better for for the bank manager, because
you can turn
in
over
Scotland,
whiskey,
you hear about these new distilleries that start and they're like, well, we'll have a gin or for a few years and then we might release something, but essentially to get really top dollar whiskey, it's 10 years old.
Tight pockets in Scotland, though. At least we keep more of our whiskey from the Angels. we don't want to be losing it all.
True. So let's see how we think this compares to one of our older whiskies.
I've not tasted it yet.
Actually, I'm going to wait before I put more out.
It smells a little bit like peppery, spicy to me in the nose.
It's quite viscous. It's like burnt marmalade or
My
something.
glass is cracked.
Oh.
I just put my lip on it. I'm sure it'll be fine.
You should complain to the management about that one.
Yeah, maybe I could sue.
I think you should probably swap your glass.
Yeah.
And tell you what, I'm going to pour you a fresh dram.
Oh.
Because you might get you might have a wee bit of glass in there.
He cares for my health after all.
And you don't want to be consuming glass.
Maybe I've drunk it already, though, is the problem.
You probably have by now, so you seem okay to me.
You just need to wash it down.
Wash it down with whiskey.
Yes, we're going to be honest for this episode.
So that's your tasting note for this one is...
shards of glass.
Shards of glass.
It feels very sharp.
So what are you getting from this one?
Yeah, so I thought the nose was quite peppery. My sip was... I was distracted a little bit, so let me try again. Like thick caramel. Caramac? You ever had those Caramac
it's like a
bars?
burn. It's not quite, it's leaning towards what you might expect from a sherry cask. But it doesn't have that kind of the same sort of dried fruits. It's more your sort of spicier sort of caramel, vanilla. But I think I said like a marmalade and burnt toast or something. Like that. It's really.
I mean, the levels of the charring, the toasting.
Delicious.
You can get stuck into it all day, and we actually did a feature on this recently. Ed Firmston Evans. Do you remember his job title? Because I don't.
His job title has changed.
Whiskey,
I can't remember
supply
what.
chain manager. It's something.
He
Anyway,
looks at you there.
Ed knows his stuff about casks. Basically, is all you need to know. And so he wrote a great little feature which explains all of the jargon.
Jargon.
I thought was very clever.
Did he come up with that?
I came up with that.
That's why you think it's clever, and hence why you bring it up again.
Yeah, exactly. But it was a great little explainer on all things toasting, charring, obscure cask names. Everyone knows their bourbon and sherry at this point. If you're a member of the society, you probably are up to date with bourbon and sherry casks. But when you start peeling back the layers and you go into different levels of toasting and charring, it can get very complicated. But Ed did a great job of just breaking it all down, and we got some nice little charts where you can look at what the different levels of char are, what the different flavours you're going to get. So no, it's really good, and that is coming out in our new print magazine,
very good.
Which has just landed this month, which is looking great, if I don't say so myself.
I thought you brought. Oh no, this is not.
Yeah, I did have a copy. Maybe if we magically, ta-da! Brand new printed magazine. And this has landed.
So, were you involved with this magazine?
I was. Thank you so much for asking.
No problem.
It feels a bit weird actually seeing my little face on the editor's letter, but
that's nice.
There's some great content in here. We've got a nice
Did you
range
send your
of
mummy a
features.
copy?
I haven't yet, actually.
She can frame it and put it on the wall.
She'll have me in trouble. But yeah, there's a great range of features. We've got some adventures. We're doing some whiskey foraging. As I say, there's the Chargan piece. We've got our new group head chef, Nick Fulton, who's got a lovely range of menus, and some of the food just looks amazing. So
yeah, he's been great.
Let us know what you think if you get a copy. Whilst we're talking about unfiltered as well. We're actually just moving, so we had our digital version on Folion, which has been there since COVID, and we've released a monthly magazine on Folion for probably around four or 5 years now. But what's very exciting is that we've just, it'll be this month in August, we've started our new website of Unfiltered, which will be populated with a range of great articles, which will be very accessible on the main UK and EU websites. So get stuck in, let us know what you think of the features on there, how it works. It's very exciting time for Unfiltered magazine. There's a lot going on, so
it's great that we're able to bring it back in print as well, though, because obviously we stopped that. A lot of people move away from actual hard printed paper.
And it's much better to enjoy if you're enjoying a dram. It's much better to enjoy a printed magazine than to be sat on your phone or on your laptop.
Old school, it's classics.
Yeah.
And actually pick it up and flick through the pages.
It's a fun thing to be able to show people as well. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, when you were talking about the do you say Charmageddon?
No, jargon.
Charmageddon.
That must be a bottle name, is it? That'd be a great
Charmageddon, it must be. Yeah, because we don't actually produce whiskey, in terms of us exploring different expressions and variations of different styles of whiskey, the wood is where is a really big focus for us, in terms of where we're buying the whiskey from, the different species of oak, and then you throw in different types of cask treatment, and that really helps us provide this sort of variation in terms of different styles of whiskey. So we'll have bottlings from the same distillery, but the oak could be different, the cask treatment could be different, the previous liquid could be different. So
it gives you so much control over what ends up in the final bottle.
Exactly. So you like that one?
Yeah, I thought that was really good. And as you say, it's an interesting story behind it. Being from Taiwan, it's got the charred cask, and only, was it 6 years old?
6 years old.
So, I mean, you would never...
Angel share, 5%.
You'd never expect that, would you, when you taste it? It doesn't,
No, it tastes like a much older whiskey, but it's still very well balanced and very enjoyable. I think it's perfect. I'd really like that over like a wee dessert, some ice cream, or I'm thinking like...
an affogato?
A treacle tart or something like that. Yeah.
Do you like an affogato?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll get you going. Whiskey, coffee and ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, there must be a name for that.
It's basically like a fancy buckfast, isn't it, really?
What, whiskey?
An affogato is like caffeine and alcohol.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I get you, the caffeine thing.
Yeah, sorry, maybe that was a stretch.
I don't drink, I'm afraid to tell you, I don't actually drink buckfast.
Oh, are those days behind
I have drank it before, I tried it, and it wasn't good, so I didn't do it again.
Should we try the next one?
Yeah. Do you want to do the honours on this one?
So this is from Distillery 149.
Mm-hmm.
Out with the gherkin, in with the brine. We've had some pretty good bottlings from this distillery that have had that sort of briny or furtive gherkin. Remember that from a couple of festival seasons ago?
Oil and Coastal, I think.
Which got a lot of people talking at.
Yeah, so this
Isla, which was great.
This is I say new distillery. It's fairly new. I mean,
on a peninsula.
on a peninsula after the same name as the distillery, but in terms of there's certain names out of the new distilleries in Scotland that are right up there, and this is certainly one of them, and it is fastly becoming one of our members' favourites. And I love the stuff. I've visited there with work. People are lovely, and it's a beautiful place, and the whiskey is fantastic. Like you say, it's got that briny, oily. They actually have the condensers are outside of the still room, so that might play a part into the kind of oiliness because it's a colder condenser.
But we'll get into that more shortly.
We don't have to, because it's probably about all I have to say for now. But this is is that heavily? No, it's just peated. 9 years old, peated.
Yeah, peated whiskey, and it's spent all of its 9 years in a first full ex-bourbon.
Perfect. So it's
got such a distinctive nose, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not necessarily like really medicinal like your Isla. Well, on the nose so far. No, it's got more of a kind of mossy, earthy kind of quality to it. But certainly at home in the west coast of Scotland and the Highlands and Islands, it smells like...
It's almost like bracken or something, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it. It just smells like you're actually there.
What do we think?
I think it's delicious.
It is. It's just a little bit of like saltiness, but there's kind of a sweet.
It's it's almost like a bit of a toffee kind of.
Mm.
It's not overly sweet, but it's just well balanced.
First reaction from tasting this is that it's just the perfect balance between not too much peat, it's not too much sort of briny saltiness, not medicinal.
It's rugged West Coasty
and just
kind of,
a little bit of sweet as well. So it's just perfectly balanced.
So what's your preference? Do you like peated whiskey?
I do like peated whiskey. Sometimes if they are too meaty,
Too full on.
It can be a little bit, but it's not very often that I go home and I want to enjoy a dram of, crazy, smoky, medicinal, meaty whiskey on my own or something. But it can be fun to show people and show the different flavours that, if you start doing a little home flight or something and you offer someone like a nice sweet Bunnahabhain and then offer them some crazy Ardbeg or something later on, then it's nice showing the range that you can have, but it's not something that I do usually go for.
Okay, but that's something you probably could move into quite easily, isn't it?
It's very approachable, isn't it?
I mean, you get people who like peated whiskey who just love it. The peatier the better, the more medicinal the better, the more full on the better. A bit like some people like that with sherry as well.
Yeah.
But this I think most people would enjoy this. Yeah. But I love this.
We've got some honourable mentions to go through.
Yes, because we've got our special guest in terms of whiskey today with the Creators Collection. We're not going to be able to open all our sort of the picks from the Outturn, so we'll just maybe
just choose a couple each and talk about them.
Well, there's 3, so that's.
Oh well, you can do 2, and I'll watch then.
You can watch. You like to watch, don't you?
This one I think will be a big favourite with the members. This is Distillery 93 from Campbelltown.
Quite nice to move from the last one onto this one because there is
sort
of similarities in that kind of rugged West Coast.
I actually did a recent trip to Campbelltown.
Oh yeah, just with work or?
I had a week off, so me and Kate, we went to Campbelltown with her mum, and it was great. We went into Springbank. What?
Did you get some setup for it?
I'm confused.
Some medicine for your week off.
Oh, god damn. Oh,
well, earlier on you were saying to me about
your far too much respect to even assume you were trying to pull that off.
You were saying to me earlier on about my glasses being dad glasses, and you said the definition of somebody who has dad characteristics is not knowing that you have dad characteristics. Yeah. That was definitely a dad joke there.
Yeah, it was.
I'll own it.
Anyway, you ruined my flow here. Campbelltown was great. We got to see Springbank, and it's the best distillery tour I think I've been to. It was amazing getting to see. They've got self-fired stills, they have their own kiln, and they have an open top mash tun. I've never seen one of those before, so there's just so much about it. They've got worm tubs and shell and tube, I think.
Yeah.
So there's just so much about it that makes it a unique place to visit, and I really enjoyed it. But anyway, this is another Campbelltown distillery.
It's a fierce rival across down the road.
Fierce rival, which is also a favourite among members. But anyway, this is called Shoreline Fisticuffs, which I think is a great name. And it's a first fill ex-bourbon barrel, so check that out. I'm sure it'll be great. Is it oily and coastal flavour profile, is that right?
It is.
So I'm going to stop waving it about before I drop it.
The combination of Distillery number 93 and oily and coastal will be very fiercely anticipated.
A match
People will be all over that one. So, I'll pick another one up here. Okay, so next up we've got bottle number is 60.50. It's called Colour Coordination. So I'm guessing it's going to have some nice dark colour to it, which I can see if you can see through the bottle.
You can barely see through it actually.
But I can still see from the bottle. It's got a nice brown hue to it. This is from the Highland region. It's initially it's been in a bourbon hogshead, and then it's got quite an interesting final cask, which is a first fill Australian tawny. So when you think about tawny, you think about port. So essentially, it is just port can only be called port when it's made in the region. Obviously, it's a different country altogether. So it's an Australian sort of their version of port. So you're going to get a nice dark colour. You're going to get lovely fruity flavours. Could be sweet, plums, dark fruits, that kind of thing. A little bit different from your sort of typical sort of sherry cask flavours, but anything that is a bit more interesting in terms of previous liquid from the cask is always very sought after. So if you like the sound of that, I would jump on it.
Something a little bit different, yeah.
And now for something a little bit different.
You want to do this one? Do you want me to? Yeah.
Might as well. Yeah. This one is 39.319. It's called the Honey Farmer's Flame. Distillery 39 is from the Speyside region. It's well known for being a workhorse distillery, so they produce a high volume of spirit. Typically, it would be the sort of sweeter element in the blend. It's lovely stuff. I can't get enough of it. It's certainly a go-to distillery for me, but it's one you might not know that well in its own right. But this one's also interesting. It's 13 years old, sweet, fruity, and mellow. Its initial cask is bourbon, and then it's been moved into a first fill ex-Moscatel barrique. And Moscatel is a sweet style of dessert wine. So, again, I think that'll be fantastic because you know what you're getting from the distillery, but then there's a bit of a twist with a really interesting cask type. So yeah, unfortunately, don't have time to crack this one open. But yeah, I would be keen. I'm sure I will at some point try this whiskey.
Nice.
All right. So now time for the grand reveal of our latest Creators collection. Were you?
Yeah. So
happy
this is the Tales of the Worm Tub, which is a very exciting one. It's the ultimate flight in worm tub distillation. Worm tubs, the traditional form to recondense vapors back into a spirit. Mm-hmm. They used to be used all over Scotland. But since the worm and tube condensers came in and really took over...
Shell and tube.
Worm and tubes, shell and tube. Getting mixed up with my worms and my shells. Took over in the 60s because they're just much more efficient, easier to maintain. And they lean into this, a much more approachable style of spirit, which is a bit more tame.
Oh, I guess modern technology is just more efficient, isn't it?
Yeah.
And essentially what you're trying to do, well, there's different parts of the production process. You want to remove the sulfury influence, but then you don't want to remove too much.
Yeah.
In fact, some that have a bit more, end up with a bit more character. And a worm tub, if you think about the name worm tub, essentially it was just the pipes are like a snake because they coil round. And originally it would have just been in any sort of body of water. It could have been a big tub, or it could have been a pond, and they're running the condenser pipes through that. So as you say, it's very traditional. But
it's really interesting that some distilleries still opt for this traditional form of condenser because of the flavour that it has on their spirit. So we've got this great little flight here of 3 different whiskies. We're going to taste them all and walk you through them as we go. So should we start with the 36, Calum?
There we go. You take it over and you pour it for us.
So 28 years old straight away, so crack and dram.
That's older than you. How old are you?
It's 2 years older than me.
Oh, gosh. I wasn't even sure how old you were. That's depressing for me.
Is it older than you?
It's actually August. My birthday is in August. This is my birthday month, yeah. So I'm feeling a bit old.
Cut you open and see how old you are?
Nah,
Count the rings.
Let's just say I'm 40-ish.
Round it up. Or down in this case.
Let's round it down, definitely.
Should have been nice to you there.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so the first thing, we did a feature about this in Unfiltered. Julian did a great job of giving us all this information. So before I sound really intellectual, I have just stolen everything from Julian. The first thing that I found really interesting about this spirit was many moons ago, it used to run a partially triple distillation, which this distillery changed from in 2007 to the now standard double distillation.
Well remembered.
So this spirit, although the distillery still runs, this spirit is no longer in production.
Yeah.
So that's the first really interesting thing. The next is obviously the worm tub. The maturation, I think it spent 18 years in a bourbon hogshead before being, was it
26 years?
26 years, sorry.
The last 2 years. So
the last 2 years where it was then transferred into a Pedro Jimenez hogshead.
Yeah. If we're ever doing any sort of further maturation, it's always a minimum of 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, and then another thing that all these distilleries have in common, and it may be because of the worm tub condensers, is that they're all from the space side and they're massively unconventional in terms of the type of spirit they produce. Because when you think about space side, you think light, floral, sweet, easy drinking, and these are anything but. But all of them are extremely well thought of and very desirable in the whiskey world because of those unconventional characters. They've all got a thick, robust, quality. A little bit edgy, a little bit dirty.
Yeah.
People like that sort of thing.
Unpolished, which is nice. It's kind of raw.
And it's fantastic. You're talking about like worm tubs being the traditional type of condenser that was used. And it's great that, I believe all these societies have just kept worm tub distilleries, but there's loads of distilleries that are going back to the traditional ways. And it just makes it much more interesting, and especially when you think about the history of whiskey, the last couple of 100 years, and they're holding on to these wee things. It's a nice nod to the past. But on that note, maybe we should have a wee sample.
Yeah. Let's see what we think.
wow, I get exotic fruit right in the nose. Like I'm getting banana. I'm getting maybe like passion fruit almost.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that actually.
Yeah.
And the ABV won't be too high in this because it's a bit older, so 47%. And
It's falling down there naturally, yeah.
I mean, you could add a wee bit of water to that. Probably would maybe add a tiny wee drop, but
But it doesn't need a lot,
very
yeah.
drinkable. And typically with a lot of older casks, you get a lot more complexity to it. So
Almost getting a tiny little bit of like shoe polish or leather. Just
leather, definitely. Yeah, that's probably quite common from this kind of robust style of whiskey.
Yeah, you can definitely taste the age a lot, can't you? It's
certainly an armchair cigar type whiskey.
yeah,
But it's still got nice that sort of exotic fruit sort of side to it as well.
Yeah.
So it's very fruity at the same
yeah, it's
time.
dynamic. Yeah. God, you'd spend.
Pardon?
You'd spend a while just
Oh, you would. I mean, certainly
dissecting that. Yeah.
you've got to respect an older whiskey like this, and it's certainly you'd want to let it sit in the glass for a wee bit. And
No, on the podcast we tend to, we have
Rush
we have
through
a lot
it.
to get through. We have to rush, and it's always a shame. But at home, you just want to sit and enjoy this. Or
yeah, and also quite often if you're pouring a dram, if you come back to it in 10 minutes time, then it's
yeah.
it's a good time to sit and react with the air, and especially if you're going to add a little bit of water to it. And
Especially if you're then trying a different dram, then you get to compare the
we
two.
did talk about that
and see.
actually, yeah. So why don't we just park this one
Yep.
as a means of comparison between the three, and we'll really explore these as a collection,
idea.
and we'll move on to the next one if you want.
Let's do it.
We need a couple of glasses though.
Oh.
So
Glass boy.
hopefully we've got some down here.
So this is a very famous distillery.
Yes, certainly is.
With what's it? Should we reveal the nickname?
The nickname.
Is that too much of a hint?
Well, I can tell you, no, not at all. I think as long as we don't see the name, we're absolutely fine. So this is distillery number 67.157. It's called. Don't know where that went there. It's called Behold the Beast. And it's also worth mentioning that the artwork of these is fantastic. And actually, you can see that it's got a serpent on the front here. So
yeah.
the wee
That
nod to
coiling,
the worm tubs, the snake, and the beast. This distillery is nicknamed the Beast because, again, it's producing this full-on, robust flavour style of whiskey. It's just not what you'd expect from the space side. This one has spent its full maturation, 18 years in a first fill Oloroso, but it's coming in at 54.3%.
So this distillery also runs a partial triple distillation. I don't know the details of it, but it's somewhere between 2 and 3, right?
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones. We were talking about Springbank a minute ago, and we can mention that they're like 2.5, 2.5. They go like in between 2 and 5 as well. But it's different. It's not for the same reason. And I would struggle to explain this properly. And I think the more you think about it, probably the more confused you're going to get. So it's best not to worry about it too much.
Yeah,
but I think
enjoy
you say it's 2.81. Is it
like pi?
I don't know.
0.11, 2, 3.
They've got a smaller still, which isn't the full size of it still. So maybe so essentially, I think the best way to think about it probably would be, I might be wrong, but it'd be triple distillation. Apart from the fact that one of the stills is quite a bit smaller, so it doesn't quite add up to a full third distillation.
Not as much.
It's called the Witchy still or something like that. Wee Witchy.
Wee Witchy. There you go.
So the wee still is called
right.
the Wee Witchy.
You were right.
Got there in the end.
And I mean, the nose straight away.
It's a wee bit different.
It's entirely different to that first dram.
I'm getting a wee bit of spice, but I'm also getting like tablet.
Oh yeah.
That burnt sugary kind of quality.
Almost smells a little bit waxy to me.
Yeah. I mean, you can definitely taste that it's full sherry maturation, but it's a little bit more subtle in terms of.
The spirit definitely stands up to it, doesn't it? Because if you'd look at any whiskey and you think, is this 18 years old? Mm-hmm. If you've a full 18 years in an Oloroso, but you'd think that could be overwhelming, but the spirit is just made for this, isn't it? Yeah,
and Oloroso is definitely that drier style of sherry. So you'd expect your kind of chocolatey, spicy kind of notes in that, but it's got a really long finish, so it's definitely waxy. I can feel the mouthfeel. It's sort of sticking to my mouth. It's sticky, but also I'm getting the flavour is really long lasting as well. But so you're getting like it's almost like you get the initial spirit and then the sort of the the Oloroso influences kind of nicely there to remind you that it's still there.
See what you mean about the tablet now, and the palate feels like very sugary.
Look at the colour of it. It's not too dark. It's certainly not overpowering. And again, it's really complex. You could sit here for ages, add some more, a little bit of it and time, and you probably start getting a lot of different stuff happening. I'd
be more inclined to add a little splash of water into this one than I would
because of the sherry influence.
First one, yeah. I'm not sure. Just instinctively, I think because this one's. I don't think so. Because I mean, it's fallen so much naturally. It just tasted delicious as it was. But I feel like this could.
There's lovely oils in that glass. When I added water there, you can see it like.
Oh yeah, well.
The water actually brings out more of the sherry, I think. It's feeling. Are you the same?
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit more of that sort of pepperiness.
Yeah.
With a little bit of water.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? So that's definitely probably more for people who are into their sort of more heavily sherried kind of styles, but because it's it's not only sherry, which is quite a full-on flavour, but also the style of spirit is quite punchy too. Yeah. So that's certainly one for people who like a bit of a beast.
Yeah.
I would say. And we'll hit the last one then, shall we?
Yeah. Crack her open.
Actually, this one is referred to as the bad boy Speyside, so I can correct you and say that it's not a female. It is in fact
a boy.
A male.
I've misgendered my first whiskey.
That's just a nickname, so it could be a bad girl at the same time.
What distillery is this?
This is distillery number 44, and it's 0.190. This is called Unleash the Serpent, and it's 21 years old. But this one's a little bit different because it's been in level 4 charred hogshead, but I think it was 18 years into a ex-bourbon hogshead, and then it spent the last 3 years in that level 4 charred hogshead. We talk about charring of cask. That's more something you associate with, and that sort of heavy level is something you associate with bourbon. And then talk about the level 4 being a kind of alligator skin. So it's so heavily charred, the inside of the wood, excuse me.
It moves so freely.
You get big flakes of char inside the cask, and it looks like alligator scales, So, yeah, perfect. This one is called Unleash the Serpent, so it's like the scales of the cask.
There's layers to this, yeah.
Yeah, but also charcoal is a natural filter for the whiskey as well. So at the same time, it will add colour and flavour, but it's also going to extract some of the sort of heavier components. I don't know which one. If I poured this one,
there we go. Yeah, I'll keep you right. Don't worry, Calum.
Sweltering hot here in Masterton Bond today.
Immediately on the nose, I feel like I'm getting a lot more tobacco from this.
Isn't it great that they're all being so different as well?
So different, and they're all in the same flavour profile as well, which shows the diversity that you can really have on flavours.
Absolutely, I get what you mean there with the tobacco. It's quite. I don't know. I'm walking through some woods now. It's
quite
earthy,
mulchy, isn't it?
Yeah. And you can see it's got a darker colour out of the three of them.
It's amazing getting to try these next to each other. So you really get to feel the difference.
Yeah.
It's probably a good time to mention, actually, if you do want to try each of these drams in this Creators Collection, the Tales of the Worm Tub, then we've got a great offer on in our members' rooms.
Yeah.
Is it £79?
£79 for a three. £79 for a 3. Can't do it.
Dram flight.
Can't say it.
3.
Yeah.
3. Oh no.
three drams.
A 3 dram flight.
So we're doing a flight in all the venues for which has got one of each of the whiskies, and it's coming in at £79. I'd highly recommend it because they're all absolutely special. They're really exceptional, and they're very, very different. And like we said, you could sit there, with a pal and sit and discuss them for hours.
It's fascinating how different they are. Yeah. It really is.
Well, we need to explore this one a little bit more. Wow, that's quite different.
It's like an earthy sweetness to me.
You definitely get the charring in it. You'd almost be tempted. I could be persuaded there was some sort of sherry influence into that one, but because it's spicy, but it's got that kind of, it's like burnt toffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charcoaly.
It's a wee wisp of smoke, but not peat. But it's delicious. And this distillery is also well known for having a pineapple-y influence in its flavour and in its spirit. So that's quite an interesting contrast when you think about the style of whiskey they produce. Because, and also we're talking about casks having more sulphur because of the production using worm tubs or other parts of the process. But in time, sulphur in cask can lead to more sort of floral flavours. So it's good to have a wee bit. And also,
Try some water?
do you know, I don't actually, I will try some more, but
I just
actually,
want to see how it changes because it feels quite...
I think this one could be quite challenging, especially when it's younger, because it probably goes to a point where you think, well, it's too much, but you have to give it time. Let it get to an older age and just, it'll mellow out, and then you're like...
char is so good for as well because it levels out any of those impurities.
Well, that's true as well, yeah. So probably is the perfect thing to put it into, but... I mean, I was going to try and pick a favourite, but I'm really quite struggling now.
I'll have to go back.
That's delicious. It's really sticky mouthfeel.
Yeah.
But it's
like sweet leather tobacco.
Yeah.
Mulchy.
But it's not too spicy. It's more jammy kind of, but it's got sort of burnt qualities to it.
Yeah. Yep.
Lovely. What about you? Have you got a favourite for the three of them?
I think I enjoyed the 76 just because it felt so different. Especially getting to taste them in a line like that.
It's more different than the other two.
Yeah, it really stands out.
I mean, honestly, you would just have to go back to them, and we've left them here for a reason because you literally could. I could sit here for ages, just chewing the fat, going over the. So I'm going back to the first one again now. So it's got a wee bit of marmalade and marmite on toast, whereas the second one,
so distinctive.
It's more punchy in terms of the sherry.
Very robust.
But then the spirit looks quite light almost. And then the third one, it's back to that.
It's great that you can really feel the distillate in all of these as well. A lot of the times people can think that the cask does too much work, whereas here for now, there's absolutely no doubt that you're getting to taste each of these distilleries and their character.
Yeah, I think in terms of age of whiskies, it's interesting because obviously we bottle whiskies at a much younger age and they're fantastic. But then there's this misconception that the older the whiskey is, the better it is. And quite often you hear about whiskey, some whiskies are 40 years old or 50 years old, which is crazy. And the chances are you have to be careful that it's not too far gone. This is the job that our spirits team, our whiskey team do. They're carefully monitoring the whiskey over time and just checking in on it to make sure that it's right to be bottled.
Yeah.
Because it would be quite easy to let things go too far and then there's no going back really. But the thing for me with older whiskies is the complexity you get, and then you add these sort of different you get a bit more experimental with the type of cask that these have been in, and these are fantastic.
Going back to the 76, it feels so oily now. Having tasted the other two, and added just a little splash of water to this as well.
Is that your favourite?
It feels so oily. I'm not sure if it's my favourite or if it just stands out so much. Yeah, it's so interesting. I could really just take, as you said,
I think it's the kind of thing it's not quite as simple as let's just pick a favourite.
Yeah.
You really need to.
It's like your children.
Properly.
They all have their own qualities.
You need to take your time with these and explore them properly and give them the respect that they deserve because they're so long in the making. Isn't it amazing that I joked about the cask being older than you, but does it not blow your mind a little bit that we're drinking whiskey that's older than you and it's been
especially in the 36 where it is a piece of history now. That spirit's not going to be made again. Yep. It's been sat in a cask for 28 years.
Yep.
It's special, and to get to taste them in a line like that it's great.
So what we're saying is you need to try this whiskey, and you can try it in a venue if it's a whiskey flight, or you can buy the collection online or also in venues. So, but yeah, please, I would highly recommend them.
I'd say it was the podcast that did it.
We don't have any guests to thank this week, but
you can thank me if you want for coming.
Thanks for co-hosting this with me.
Thank you for hosting.
How did it go? Did we have enough to talk about?
It felt pretty smooth.
Is it?
I think Gareth might have an easier job with editing this episode. Usually there's a lot of things that can never see the light of day. We didn't
actually say too much that would get cut out or get us cancelled, I suppose.
No, I don't think so.
So thanks very much for tuning in to this month's Outturn Podcast. We'll be back again at the same time next month with some more fabulous drams for you to get your head around. Duncan, what's your message for the people at home?
Take care I don't know. I've never
Be
had
good to
do that.
yourself
You throw
and
me
each
under the
other.
bus. Yeah.
Was that not Jerry Springer used to say that at the end of every episode?
What is it?
Yes.
Be good to yourselves and each other.
If I don't see you, good evening, good afternoon, and good night.
You went a little bit American there, but that's okay.
Well, it's an American
Wait,
American
good
film.
It's good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
What did I say?
Good evening, good afternoon, good night.
Good afternoon, good evening, and
Oh well, I'm sure there's enough in that to.
you can
to
cut that
something.
up. We'll fix that in post.